You're watching KWGN TV, Denver's tune, celebrating 40 years of broadcasting.
Wet and severe weather sweeps through Colorado. We'll bring you the latest forecast on what's in store for the weekend next on Channel 2 News Tonight.
I'm Anna Osborne. The man accused of murdering 4 United Bank guards takes the stand in his own defense today. Coming up, you'll hear from Jim King.
I'm Steve Saunders in Douglas County. 3 men are in custody tonight, charged with tying up a Douglas County family and burglarizing their home. The police say they may be involved in a dozen other similar crimes involving millions of dollars. I'll have our reports.
Also tonight, we'll put you in the pilot's seat as one of Colorado's most spectacular air shows flies into town. We'll tell you where you can get in on the fun and much more next on Channel 2 News.
Tonight's Channel 2 News is brought to you in part by Delta. We love to fly, and it shows.
From KWGN TV, Denver's first late news. This is Channel 2 News with Dave Young, Beverly Weaver, Al Fogelman, and Jim Conrad.
Mr. King, did you commit these crimes?
No, I did not.
Good evening. I'm Beverly Weaver. Dave has the night off tonight. Thanks for joining us. Jim King says he is innocent of the Father's Day robbery and massacre at United Bank downtown. As Channel 2's Anna Osborne reports tonight, the former security guard and police officer took the stand in his own defense today.
You do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the proceeding now pending before this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Just have a seat right there, please.
Jim King took the stand just after 10:30 this morning and under questioning from his attorney Walter Garash promptly proclaimed his innocence.
Were you involved in any way with these crimes?
No, I have never killed anyone or robbed anyone.
Then, with his family looking on, King tried to explain some of what the defense calls unfortunate coincidences, circumstantial evidence that makes King look questionable, if not guilty. Like why he got a larger safe deposit box and shaved off his mustache just days after the murders.
I had a sore on there and it was an irritant. And sometimes I can correct them and sometimes I'm willing to put up with the sores that I get. This time I didn't, and so I shaved my mustache.
King was calm and cordial, often spoke directly to the jury, and even made the court laugh a couple of times. But during cross-examination, King was more reserved, especially as prosecutor Bill Buckley pointed out inconsistencies between the statements he gave investigators and his testimony.
When you got on the stand today, you said you remember seeing Roberta Trujillo and you remember seeing Mr. Bell. But
that's correct.
But on July 3rd, when asked that specific question, you said you neither saw nor talked to any of your neighbors that day.
That's correct.
After King's testimony, the prosecution called 5 rebuttal witnesses, including Paul Yoakum, an alternative suspect the defense based much of their case on.
Mr. Yoakum, you don't know me, do you?
Defense attorneys say Yoakum, a disgruntled former bank guard, had the motive and the knowledge needed to commit the crimes. But he was cleared by the police and FBI. Rightfully so, he says.
Did you kill any guards or rob the place on June 16th, 1991?
No, I didn't.
Testimony in King's case is now complete. The jury will hear closing arguments and get instructions from the judge on Monday. They could begin deliberations Monday night or Tuesday morning. From Denver District Court, Anna Osborne, Channel 2 News.
The jury will be sequestered once those deliberations begin. Today, the judge asked jurors to bring a suitcase on Monday packed with a week's worth of clothes. They can't bring portable phones, radios, or dictionaries, and they'll be staying in motel rooms without phones or televisions. 3 men are being held tonight on extraordinarily high bonds ranging in the millions of dollars. Investigators say the 3s are suspects in a series of violent home burglaries in exclusive metro area neighborhoods. Channel 2's Steve Saunders has been following the task force investigation for us. He joins us now live from the newsroom with more on this. Steve?
Beverly, this task force was composed of the State Attorney General's office as well as several local police departments. Now, this task force came up with the people they believed to be the suspects and were waiting for them to strike again. Well, allegedly, that happened again last night, so police moved in quickly and made their arrests. Michael Stern, Joey Bueno, and his brother Marty are facing a series of felony charges that could put them in prison for at least 72 years. Investigators say their arrests have been a long time in coming.
This was a homicide waiting to happen.
Last night, a family was terrorized here in the Falcon Hill subdivision. The father was outside when confronted by two masked men, one of whom was carrying a gun. The victim was then forced inside.
Tied up him, his wife, and his 15-year-old son. After they had tied him up, they ransacked the house for approximately an hour.
But unknown to the suspects, a task force looking at other crimes in the area had already targeted them as possible suspects in those robberies. When the call came out about the crime, police put out a surveillance at Marty Bueno's home. They allegedly found the suspects with items stolen from last night's robbery.
This family basically had been stalked and surveilled by the perpetrators.
In court today, prosecutor John Hauer said the suspects could be involved in as many as 12 similar cases involving as much as $3 million worth of stolen property. Hauer also asked for a very high bond, saying the suspects had already threatened the victims once.
They were told that if they gave too much specific information to the police and talked too much to the police, that they would, quote, come back and finish the job.
The judge was apparently swayed by that argument. Bond for Marty Bueno was set at $5 million. Bond for Joseph Bueno and Michael Stern at $3 million. It was higher for Marty Bueno because he already has several felony convictions. Now, those defendants will be back in court Wednesday to argue that that bond should be lowered. We will, of course, follow that. And also, Beverly, you may recall back last year when police recovered a lot of stolen property, several hundred thousands of dollars. They had a public display, asked people to come by and identify that property. Well, today they are not saying that this crime is these suspects are tied to that, but they say it's also a possibility that they haven't ruled out, so they will continue to look at that.
Interesting. Okay, could be a connection there.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Steve.
You bet.
An Aurora dentist whose patient died while having a tooth pulled is asking to have his license reinstated tonight. The Board of Dental Examiners suspended Philip Brown's license last week after declaring him a, quote, a threat to the public. One of his patients, Deborah Miller, died in his care, apparently from a mix of drugs he gave her intravenously in order to pull a wisdom tooth. The dental board agreed today to consider Brown's request during the board's July meeting. Brown has promised not to administer general anesthesia anymore and agreed to have his practice monitored during the investigation. There's lots more news ahead on this Friday evening. Later on, we'll give you the bad news about the number of people out of work in this country.
To look out your window now, the weekend weather doesn't look very promising, but before you go canceling any plans, stay tuned for the forecast. There's some rays of sunshine in it.
The Blazers toughen up on the Bulls and will visit some Rockies minor leaguers who are already hard at work.
I'm Rebecca Stevens. Do you feel like you've been hounded to death by people asking for your signature on petitions this year? There's a reason for that. We'll tell you about it coming up on Channel 2 News.
And the sky is their backdrop for an incredible show in the air. We'll give you a look at what you'll see this weekend if you're a flying buff. Stay tuned.
He's in Manhattan on Wednesday, Frankfurt on Thursday, Paris, Rome, and Vienna after that. He believes it's better to do business across a table than over a fax machine. This year, he'll fly more than 100,000 miles with us because he knows nobody understands him better than we do. At Delta, when we say we love to fly and it shows, this is where it shows.
Any mulching mower can chop up grass and return it to your lawn as fertilizer. But the new Honda Harmony's exclusive twin-blade cutting action gives you finer clippings than other mulchers. So you get a better end result. The new Honda Harmony. Nothing's easier.
If someone you care about doesn't know when to say enough, You have to.
Call Centennial Peaks Hospital at 800-842-HOPE.
You can experience a revolutionary way to buy a new car. The low final sales price is clearly displayed on every car at Sutt's Pontiac GMC truck, home of bottom line pricing.
The debate continues on wheat bread versus white bread.
Peanut butter and jelly on wheat. White. Wheat's nutritious. White's delicious.
Now on the table, Iron Kids bread. All the fiber, iron, and other important nutrients of standard whole wheat.
Nutritious.
But with the look and taste of white.
Delicious.
Iron Kids bread from Rainbow. The bread moms and kids can agree on.
Congratulations, Denver's too. You're 40 years old and looking better than ever. I guess some of us never lose our youthful appearances.
If it seems like there are a lot more petition drives going around town than usual, you are not just imagining things. Come November, there could be more initiatives on the ballot here in Colorado than ever before. The Secretary of State's office has titles for 45 initiatives right now. Tonight, Channel 2's Rebecca Stevens shows us what's behind the trend and what it means to all of us when we go to the polls.
It takes a great deal of effort to get on the ballot in Colorado, whether you're an initiative or a candidate. This woman knows about it from the candidate's viewpoint. Josie Heath wants to be our next U.S. Senator. Today, she took signatures to the Secretary of State's office.
We have only just begun, but we have nearly 20,000 signatures from men and women across the state of Colorado who have had an incredible story in themselves in how we've made this happen.
Secretary of State Natalie Meyer says she's never seen so many attempts to get on the November ballot. Probably not even half of the 45 suggested initiatives will get the needed signatures, but still, she says the number could reach into the teens. She believes there are a couple of reasons for this huge increase in initiatives.
No, we had to allow petition circulators to be paid. They're paid in the state today from 45 cents to $1 by name on lines that they get signatures. In addition to that, this year, a federal court ruled that in Colorado, that circulators did not have to be registered voters.
Not every campaign relies exclusively on paid signature collectors. Great Outdoors Colorado has collected over half the signatures they need, and they use mostly volunteers.
There's a large number of individual volunteers that have petitions, and they're doing it any location where they think they can get good signatures.
On a pretty day like today in Denver, you'd think you could find somebody circulating a petition on any street corner in Denver. Not true. We found at least one volunteer who says he's waiting for the People's Fair this weekend.
We wanted to know what people think about all these initiatives.
Well, I think it's too many. But again, I think it all depends upon what the initiative is.
Do you think the governor was right to get this as a ballot initiative as opposed to getting it through the state legislature?
Yeah, as far as education, yeah. I'm sure that's why I love Governor Rome, because of that issue, the education. He's deep on education, he's hard on education. And if he stays that way, I'll always be behind him.
Well, that's very well, but why do we elect our representatives if they throw it right back to us?
Rebecca Stevens, Channel 2 News.
This year in Colorado, it takes more than 49,000 valid signatures to get an issue on the November ballot. Secretary of State Meyer says she tells people to collect 80,000 signatures to allow for a cushion in case any are thrown out. She says about 30% of all signatures collected on petitions will not be valid. The upcoming ballot initiative election is prompting Colorado officials tonight to review what public officials can and cannot legally do with taxpayer dollars. At a press conference here at the Capitol today, the Secretary of State and Attorney General Gail Norton discussed the laws surrounding misuse of public funds. A public official can now be charged with a Class 3 misdemeanor for using public money to promote his or her personal views toward a ballot issue.
The enhanced penalties for this are something fairly recent. They've been put in place in the last few years, and so many people are not familiar with that. But clearly the basic idea that public officials cannot use public funds to campaign for their own personal views is something that has been in Colorado law for a long time.
If you have a complaint about any public official misusing public funds, you need to contact the Secretary of State's office in writing with a signed complaint. There's a lot going around the metro area this weekend. Up next, we'll give you a bird's eye preview of the big air show in town. And we'll look ahead to one of the biggest outdoor festivals here, the Capitol Hill People's Fair.
These men are marching to their death.
The desert doesn't get you, the Arabs will.
That's why they joined the Legion, not to live, but to die.
The Arabs don't get you, the Legion will.
And here, they will make their final stand.
The Legion doesn't get you, then I will.
Gene Hackman, Catherine Deneuve, Max von Sydow, and Terrence Hill will march or die.
7 p.m. on Denver's 2 Saturday.
Which plant food is best for you? Well, listen to these prize-winning gardeners at America's great fairs and flower shows.
There was absolutely no comparison. The Miracle Grow produced a bigger, more beautiful plant.
I not only get more tomatoes, but I get bigger tomatoes.
The plants with Miracle Grow were twice the size of the others.
You'll never know what a great gardener you can be until you've used Miracle Grow. Now the Miracle Grow No Clog 2. It's 3 feeders in 1. It's a gentle feeder for delicate flowers, a wand feeder, a lawn feeder.
When you think about who'll you be driving around over the next few days, you want the experts who can fix your brakes today. Midas, because your brakes can't wait.
Hey, money's tight. Yeah, don't spend too much on Father's Day gifts this year.
Get your gifts where you get the best prices.
Oh, that's Burlington Coat Factory. How about the silk shirt?
Looks like $50.
$19.99. Famous label dress shirts. $35, $45.
$19.99.
We love silk ties. $25. Only $9.99 at Burlington Coat Factory.
Levi's knit shirts.
$20? Not even close. $9.99.
So take the Father's Day advice your own father would give you.
Get to Burlington Coat Factory. And don't spend too much on a gift this year. It's a thought that counts. Yeah, right.
Mom? Yeah? You know Angel's sweater?
Yeah?
Well, it kind of got grass stains on it. I tried to wash it, but they're still there.
Cindy, once you put it through the dryer, the stains set in.
Sorry.
Let's try again with this new liquid Tide.
Introducing ultra-intensified ultra-liquid Tide. With a little help from Tide, even dryer set-in stains disappear without a trace.
It's clean.
Great. Can I wear it tonight?
Excuse me?
Kidding.
New ultra-intensified liquid Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
It's the 11th hour tonight for anyone hoping to get one of those cheap seats on the major airlines. The low fares in tonight, and unless you know a travel agency open late, you are pretty much out of luck. Even though almost all the lowest priced seats were gone today, agents still worked feverishly to get their clients booked. Compounding the problem, many computers went down because of the overload. Now the offer's all but gone.
In the immediate future, they'll go back to the regular prices, twice what they are this week. And I think this will probably put a couple airlines under, which is unfortunate, but it's very good for the consumers for the summer.
Some analysts say once the weaker carriers are forced out of the market, airfares could skyrocket. Well, the airplanes are gassed up and parked tonight, and the runways are clear. All the pilots need now are clear skies tomorrow to kick off Air Show Colorado 92. The annual event starts bright and early tomorrow morning at Front Range Airport in Adams County. Tonight, Channel 2's Chris Jenkins and photographer Frank Rockwell give us a sneak peek at all the sky-high fun.
The best seat in the place for Air Show Colorado 92 may be the back seat of a T-34. Unfortunately, not everyone will get this bird's eye view, but starting tomorrow morning, there'll be plenty to see from the ground level as well. This year, the air show will feature 10 different performances, including these modified World War II fighters, which will race at speeds of over 450 miles an hour. The highlight of the show will be the Navy's Blue Angels and their F-18 Hornets. The team travels to more than 60 air shows a year. The team members say it's just as much a thrill for them to come to new cities as it is for us to come out and watch.
It seems to be the small children, the young kids, to see the expression on their faces when they see the show and when they talk to us.
You can get tickets for the show at the gate both Saturday and Sunday.
But they're more expensive at the gate. I would use Ticketmaster, and we start flying at 10. Gates open at 10, and we start flying at 10, and it goes bang, bang, bang all day until 4 o'clock.
If you get tired of looking up, there'll be plenty to see on the ground, including vintage aircraft and a special appearance of an F-117A stealth fighter. For aircraft buffs, Front Range Airport will be the place to be this weekend. Chris Jenkins, Channel 2 News.
And I think our photographer's stomach is still recovering from that one. If you'd like to join in all the fun this weekend at Front Range Airport, the gates do open at 10 a.m. both Saturday and Sunday. Tickets are $11 for adults at the gate, $4 for children. Well, for people who want to browse among some smaller items this weekend, downtown Denver may be the spot for you. City workers were busy this afternoon setting up for the 21st annual Capitol Hill People's Fair. Planners are expecting about 275,000 people to hit Civic Center Park this weekend for the largest arts and crafts show in the state. There will be entertainers and 350 vendors here. And all these propane tanks you see, well, they're for the food booths to cook up all kinds of fair food for the visitors. Well, if you're making outdoor plans for the weekend, stay tuned tonight. Up next, Karen Merritt will be here to tell us if this weekend will be any better than the last few around here.
That's how Pizza Hut delivers the ultimate triple play. First, get on base with a medium new and improved specialty pizza at regular price and steal any second medium pizza for just $3. It's the Pizza Hut triple play. Here it is in super slow-mo. First, order a medium new and improved supreme meat lovers or pepperoni lovers pizza and steal any second medium pizza for just $3.
Call now for Pizza Hut delivery.
Life is full of things people tend to take for granted, even their eyes. We won't, because looking at the big picture, we believe there are few things more important. And with quality products like Flex-On frames, we not only can help you see better, we can help you look better. 1 Hour Optical. We take your eyes seriously. Stop in for a complete eye exam, just $29.
How do you recognize a truly superior banana?
Just look for this famous portrait.
Chiquita bananas every day at King Soopers.
Anchorman Dennis Miller continues to stay on top of the president's busy schedule.
Here we see George Bush waving goodbye at the LA airport Saturday. George stops by for riots, floods, and primaries. Then it's fishing time.
Bob Saget returns to Miller, the one place he can truly express himself.
I love the show very much, and I love everybody on it, and I love my producers, and I love the writers, and I just love the commissary.
All in the next, Miller.
See you tonight on Denver's 2.
Volunteers are needed for the summer. Find out more about horseback adventures as therapy. Call 797-8697. 797-8697.
Making a can from recycled aluminum instead of from raw materials reduces air pollution by 95%. Recycle. It's the everyday way to save the world.
Tonight's Channel 2 weather is brought to you in part by Elitch Gardens, where you'll have 100 years worth of fun, rain or shine. It's guaranteed.
It's sure fun to win, but when you lose it, it is sheer heartache. Whoever won the $3.25 million lotto jackpot last December 7th is out of luck tonight. The winner had until 5 p.m. yesterday to claim the prize, but nobody showed up. It's only the second time in Colorado lotto history a jackpot has gone unclaimed. Lotto officials will decide in the next few weeks whether to put the money back in the jackpot at all or in smaller prizes. And I guess we were lucky we didn't have some more severe weather around here this afternoon. We were under the gun.
Yeah, we were certainly lucky here in the Denver area, but they weren't so fortunate down in the southeast part of the state. A whole slew of tornadoes. Luckily, we haven't heard about any kind of, damage or personal injury. But gosh, to give you an example, we had that one down in Lincoln. That was down about 5 miles north of Ariba. 2 down in Kit Carson County, 1 in northeast Baca, 1 in southeast Prowers. So I'll tell you, it was really popping late this afternoon. But most of the activity has now moved out of the area. So as you'll see that on radar. A little bit left, but most of the severe weather is gone. Okay, let's take a look at the current conditions. At the top of the hour, 58 degrees. Our humidity, 53%. Our winds out of the northeast at 8. The barometer on the rise. Right now, the skies are cloudy. And you can expect to see those clouds for a while. Okay, now here is the ET rate. That's the suggested watering guide for tomorrow. Keep in mind, though, that these suggested rates were given early on this afternoon. For just about everybody, a ½ inch is suggested tomorrow for watering your lawn, except for the Morrison area and North Glen area, a ¼ inch. But certainly, if you were in one of those areas that got some heavy rains today, use your judgment. You just may not need any water tomorrow for those rains. All right, here's what I was talking about. As far as local radar, you can see that things are looking very, very dry around the state, except we have another storm that just began, maybe within the last half hour, 45 minutes or so ago, right along the border of Otero and Crowley counties. This storm is now moving to the southeast at about 25 miles an hour. Now, the cold front that precipitated all this severe weather has now moved out of the state. However, there's another system, just a small disturbance that's tracking across the southern section of the state, and so that may trigger up some more thunderstorm activity this evening down in that southeast portion of the state. But as I said, the severe weather has all but ended, but keep your eyes out. Could see another thunderstorm down there. And you can take a look at the high temperatures today. You can certainly see what triggered those storms as that cold front made its way down into the southeast part of the state, because the high temperature today for the state was down in La Junta, 88 degrees. 82 was the temperature down in Trinidad, 83 in Pueblo. The rest of the northeast part of the state was mainly in the low to mid 70s. Out west under, sunshine out in Grand Junction, temperature got up to 85 degrees. Otherwise, in the high country in the western valleys, temperatures in the 60s. This is the way the satellite picture looked, maybe about an hour or so ago. And you can see already clearing skies up in the northwest and much of the northeast part of the state. It's not hard to find that line of very strong activity. There you can see the clouds down in the southeast part of Colorado, but much of the brunt of that activity extending out into the plains and down into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Now, the good news is that even though severe weather is occurring out in the plains, the tornado watch that was supposed to extend until about 11 or 12 o'clock tonight for all the way up from eastern sections of Nebraska down through sections of Kansas has been allowed to expire or be canceled, actually. However, there is one tornado watch that is going to extend until midnight, and that is for the eastern third of the Oklahoma and the Texas panhandle. So still a lot of strong activity going on. As you can see on national radar, you can see the very strong thunderstorms occurring in those panhandle areas. Now, that's not to say that there are not strong thunderstorms still extending throughout sections of Kansas and Nebraska, but obviously they are beginning to diminish in size and intensity, and so at least the threat of tornadoes has been allowed to move out of that area. You can see the dry conditions to the west of Colorado, and little by little we are going to be drying out over the next couple of days. But tomorrow morning, it looks like for that air show, and at least for the early part of the People's Fair, still a pretty good chance of rain. For tomorrow around the western valleys, though, and the Northwest Plateau, look for plenty of sunshine right on through the day. Doesn't even look like they've got a chance of rain tomorrow. Temperatures in the 70s all the way up into the mid-80s. The mountains look really nice tomorrow. Looks like temperatures in the 70s. Later on in the day, some scattered thunderstorms are possible. Here in eastern Colorado, for the early part of the day, looks like we're going to get some upslope along the Front Range, and so some low clouds and drizzle and some fog, but then we'll break away and see some partly sunny skies with just scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. And temperatures, as you can see, in the 70s and 80s. Now on to the Denver forecast. For this evening, it looks like the threat of rain is gone, and we'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies. An overnight low of about 50 is on tap for us. And then tomorrow, as I said, mostly cloudy early on in the day and about a 40% chance of afternoon thunderstorms. And our high will get up to about 74 degrees, overnight low of 48. If you're looking to go to the People's Fair, I'll tell you, Sunday looks to be certainly the drier day of the two, and certainly the warmer day, getting up close to 80 degrees. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday warming up, getting up into the low 80s, Beverly, and just a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. So if we can just get through tomorrow morning, I think the extended looks pretty good.
Well, people who like it cool outside can head outside tomorrow, and then the rest of us will wait until Sunday.
Exactly. Well, and the later part of tomorrow looks pretty good, so don't totally cancel the plans.
We'll take advantage. Thanks,
Okay.
Karen. The Olympic torch is on its way toward Barcelona tonight after a trip back in time today to light it on fire. People dressed as ancient Greek athletes and priestesses made today's torchlighting ceremony here in Olympia, Greece, a sight to see. The high priestess lit the Olympic flame by placing the torch against a concave mirror heated by the sun. The Olympics were first held here in 772 BC. The torch will make its way to Barcelona and arrive in time for the Games later this summer. In this fast-paced world in which we live, it's usually pretty difficult to find the time to sit down at the dinner table for a meal. But in our 2-year health report, you'll find out why all that eating on the run may be bad for your physical and mental health. And in sports, we'll visit some Colorado Rockies players who are playing for the Twins in California. Jim Conrad will explain that.
There's more than one way to have 100 years worth of fun. You could spend the afternoon with Gertrude Tutwiler. Or you could go to Elitch's. Elitch Gardens. It's 100 years worth of fun. With Elitch's Wet or Sweat Guarantee, you'll have 100 years worth of fun, rain or shine.
We couldn't make the day any longer, or the distance between people any shorter. But at Cellular One, what we can do is give you the freedom to go where you want to go. Be where you want to be, without ever being out of touch with the people who are most important to you. That's why Cellular One is building a new cellular network across North America. Imagine never being out of touch with your life again. Imagine no limits. To reserve your Cellular One number, just call our number, 1-800-IMAGINE.
Buongiorno, this is Signora Caterina Noiascordo, Vice Consul of Italy, inviting you to join in a spectacular event. A live chess game from Marostica, Italy. This majestic event takes us back to the year 1454. This life-size chess game is the historical duel between two knights for the hand of the beautiful Lady Leonora. Come and enjoy the pageantry and culture, June 25th and 26th. Tickets purchased at Ticketmaster location. Arrivederci e grazie.
Tonight's Channel 2 Sports is brought to you in part by Home Base, with over 30,000 home improvement items at guaranteed lowest prices. It's that simple.
Well, it sounds like another exciting game tonight, but Bulls fans who were hoping for a blowout have to think again.
No, and you had to feel that it was going to be a little better than the first game, and it certainly has been.
Yeah.
Blazers came to Chicago hoping for a split in the first two games of the NBA Finals, but you had to believe that they were just hoping to avoid a repeat of their Game 1 blowout at the hands of the Bulls. And indeed, it's been a good game back and forth. Portland has had the lead several times. One point, they were up by 8 in the fourth quarter, but right now they trail 92-82. It is a 10-point lead for Chicago with about 4 minutes to go in the game. Clyde Drexler has fouled out for Portland. The All-NBA team is released today, and look who are the guards. Who else? Jordan and Drexler, David Robinson at center, and the forwards Karl Malone and Chris Mullin. The Rockies hold their first tryout camp tomorrow at DU, and their first workout for their recent draftees tomorrow afternoon. But the team already has 5 players playing in the California League. Greg Wyatt has more on the 5 Visalia Oaks.
It would be easy to understand why 5 of these players might have a rather schizophrenic view of California League baseball. They wear Twins uniforms, play for Minnesota's farm team, the Visalia Oaks, and are property of the brand new National League Colorado Rockies.
It was kind of unique during spring training when they were wearing their CR hats, their Colorado Rocky hats, and we had on our Minnesota Twins hat.
The newest expansion team is pleased with its 5 players here, especially with 25-year-old Troy Ricker, one of the leading hitters in the California League.
I'm looking forward to next year and you know, getting a shot at, you know, a higher level. I've been playing A-ball for some time now, about 7 years, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's a great opportunity. It's a good time to be in baseball right now.
He has Major League arm, he has Major League power. He may be a late bloomer.
Ryan Turner from Stanford University was the Rockies' first pick.
I was interviewing for jobs and getting ready to go out in the so-called real world, and my mother called me and said I'd been picked by the Rockies and I was the first player. And I thought, well, wow, I have a team. My first reaction was great.
You can hit the aluminum bat, you can hit the ball anywhere on the bat, and it's going to go. He's had a little time of adjusting to that. Even though he's hitting about 280, 285 right now, the fact is he can do much better.
From Adelanto, California, Greg Wyatt for Channel 2 News.
In the National League, New York and Pittsburgh, before the game, former teammates Bobby Bonilla and Barry Bonds share a laugh. Look at this laugh as the Mets catcher and third baseman Magadan and Hundley play You Get It, I Got It, There It Goes, No One Gets It. And right now, Pittsburgh has come back and gets the win in 10 innings over the Mets. Cubs beat Montreal in Game 1 of a doubleheader, and Danny Jackson gets his first win in almost a year, but Montreal wins Game 2. Philadelphia outgunned St. Louis. Darren Dalton, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Atlanta and San Diego are tied in the top of the 5th. Cincinnati leads Los Angeles in the bottom of the 2nd, and Houston and San Francisco are scoreless in the top of the 1st. In the American League, Detroit at New York and Cleveland at Boston both rained out. Baltimore nips Toronto, and the win moves the Orioles past the Blue Jays into first in the American League East. Milwaukee whips California. Oakland leads the White Sox in the top of the 9th. Kansas City beats Seattle, and Texas leads Minnesota in the bottom of the 8th inning. Zephyrs out on the road tonight at Indianapolis, and they trail now in the bottom of the 8th. The New Jersey Devils dump head coach Tom McVie today and hire former Olympic coach Herb Brooks. And there's a move underway by some of the NHL owners to force President John Ziegler to resign immediately. Round 2 of the Memorial in Ohio. Payne Stewart lips out a putt here on 13. Look at that baby go around and out. And Joey Sindelar on 14 gets the birdie here. He shares the lead with Nolan Henke after 2 rounds. They are both at 10 under par. Nice putt, Joey. The annual John Elway Golf Classic underway today at both Arrowhead and Plum Creek golf clubs. The 2-day tournament benefits the Elway Foundation, and current and former NFL stars in town to join in. These golf outings provide summer enjoyment and a way to stay in touch.
I feel great. I've just been playing golf and doing a little fishing and spending time with the family, so it's been a real good summer so far.
Try to make a lot of these, do about 30 a year, and it's good to see the old guys and get to play different courses. And I'm kind of like into golf. I can't play very well, but I like to play.
French Open today, men's semifinals. Peter Korda here, match point as that one is long. Korda beats Henri Leconte 6-2, 7-6, 6-3, and he can't believe it. Korda will meet number 1 seed Jim Courier in the finals. He beat Andre Agassi today, 6-3, 6-2, and 6-2. So the Blazers have come back to make it a better second game, but it looks like they're going to lose and go back to Portland for games 3 and 4 down 0-2.
And hoping that home court advantage will give them some help.
Yeah, we got to play today that maybe one of the better athletic plays I've seen in a long time.
All right, not performed by you, I take it.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Thanks, Jim. We'll be right back with all your news from around the nation tonight. Next, some good news for Magic Johnson and his family. Later in environmental news, after 30 days under the sea, the Aquanauts come up for air. And he may be slow, but he sure made it a long way from home. Now, 10 years later, he is back where he started. You'll hear the story as the news continues.
After 15 years of marriage, you realize something's desperately wrong. The shag carpeting. It's gotta go. So you head down to home base, where a very patient salesperson shows you just about everything, and you get what you need for almost nothing. After a little work and a lot of fun, you have a brand new floor, the foundation for just about any good marriage. Home base. It's that simple. Great prices.
Tennis shoes, great deal.
Well, it is a great time for the whole family, and it's something that everybody enjoys because there is something out here for everyone.
Mile High Flea Market, I-76 and 88th Avenue.
Discover the treasure. Discover the treasure. American Furniture Warehouse. Treasure chest save.
Discover the treasure chest of savings at American Furniture Warehouse. Save tens, hundreds of dollars on Lane Action recliners and sectionals.
Discover how we sell more Action Lane recliners and motion furniture than anyone in the Rocky Mountain area.
Don't miss the treasures at the American Furniture Warehouse Treasure Chest Sale.
Discover the treasure.
What are you doing?
Pouring on A1.
Before? Don't you do that after?
Yeah, but today I'm doing it before instead of after.
It looks different doing it before. Think it'll taste different after? Because before, you did it after.
Try it. Whoa, before you eat it all.
Oh, after you.
A1, it's how steak is done.
Our top story tonight, the man at the center of the United Bank murders and robbery has taken the stand in his own defense. Testimony in the trial of James King has lasted nearly 2 weeks now, but today some of the most important yet. Jim King's defense says he was caught up in unfortunate coincidences, and the first thing King said on the stand today, he is not guilty.
Mr. King, did you commit these crimes?
No, I did not.
Were you involved in any way with these crimes?
No, I have never killed anyone or robbed anyone.
King says he shaved off his mustache just days after the murders because of a sore, but the prosecution brought up several inconsistencies in King's overall version of events last Father's Day. Closing arguments will begin on Monday, and we will bring you the very latest right here on Channel 2 News all next week as jury deliberations get underway. The unemployment rate here in the U.S. is at its highest level in nearly 8 years tonight. That unwelcome economic news tops our look at what's happening around the nation this evening. President Bush says there are glimmers of light behind the dark figures, but economists say the unemployment jump may mean the economy is going to stall out again. As Channel 2's John Aubuchon reports from Washington, the increase comes as the worst possible time for President Bush, election year.
It was not the kind of news people out of work wanted to hear, that families wanted to hear, or that candidate George Bush wanted to hear. The new unemployment numbers, 7.5% in May, are the highest of the recession, and the president knows how much that hurts him.
My problems stem from this sluggish, anemic economy.
There were as many layoffs as new jobs in May, and in retail businesses, employment actually fell by 44,000 jobs. Construction employment did not pick up at all, and manufacturing showed few signs of recovery.
Businesses are not all that confident.
It lowers the recovery forecast for the rest of this year, this economist says.
I don't see how the president can say last night that things are turning around.
Democrats were quick to pounce on the new numbers.
This economy is in a basic, fundamental change. And we've got a president and an administration that doesn't get it.
That, of course, is politics. But independent analysts say the Bush problem is real.
I think not only is Bush going to be campaigning to America for November, but he's also going to campaign to the Fed very hard to get those rates down.
To get the interest rates down, to make this recovery more than the phantom it seems to most people so far. The economy is simply not creating jobs. And sure as the sun rises on Election Day, that could be fatal to any president seeking re-election. In Washington, John Aubuchon, Channel 2 News.
Pat Buchanan is recovering tonight from open-heart surgery. Doctors say the Republican presidential challenger is doing well and should make a complete recovery. Buchanan underwent the elective surgery today in Washington, D.C. He had a damaged aortic valve in his heart replaced with an artificial one. Buchanan had said he wanted to wait until the primaries were over before having the surgery. He's known about his condition for the past 10 years, but it was apparently getting worse. Doctors say the operation was a complete success, and Buchanan should be out of the hospital in a week. A multiple sclerosis patient who died with the help of the man known as Dr. Death was murdered. That ruling tonight from the Michigan coroner. The coroner has ruled that 52-year-old Susan Williams may have pulled the lever that released lethal carbon monoxide gas into a breathing mask last month, but she couldn't have done it without the help of Dr. Jack Kevorkian. The ruling clears the way for Kevorkian to be charged with murder in the death. He and his attorney call it outrage.
My only concern, underline the word only,
is to alleviate the interminable suffering of humanity under the medically correct circumstances.
Kevorkian already faces 2 other murder charges in the 1991 deaths of 2 other women. Basketball great Magic Johnson, who helped change the world's perception about AIDS, is a proud new father tonight. Magic's wife, Cookie, has given birth to a healthy baby boy. His name, Irvin Johnson III. Cookie was already pregnant when Magic found out last year he had tested positive for HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. Both mom and son have tested negative for the virus, however. In environmental news, up here next, you'll hear what it was like to spend a lot of time living underwater. In health news, is that sunscreen you're using really doing all it's supposed to do? And do you find yourselves without the time to sit down at the dinner table? We'll tell you why you may be doing yourself some harm. Stay with us.
I took my car in for a tune-up. This young fellow, he says, "What's the problem, Gramps?" I should have known right there he was going to gyp me. He drives me $300 for a tune-up. What's this world coming to?
To Courtesy Ford Isuzu, we stick to our estimates, guarantee our work, and respect our customers.
It's your best time to save.
It's Weberg's Best Buy sale of Thomasville Furniture.
Save big on America's most recognized name in quality furniture.
Then take advantage of our best financing offer.
No payments for 6 months.
No interest for 6 months.
And no money down.
It's a sale of Weberg's Best Furniture, Thomasville.
Fantastic discounts on furniture that will last you a lifetime.
From traditional to contemporary, it's now all on sale.
And it costs you absolutely nothing for 6 months.
It's Weberg's Best Buy's Thomasville sale.
This weekend.
Everybody knows Fred Schmid has lower prices. And everybody knows Fred Schmid has lower prices on appliances. But not everyone knows that Fred Schmid has lower prices on the biggest selection of brand name appliances, like GE, Whirlpool, Sub-Zero, KitchenAid, Maytag, Amana, Genair, and Magic Chef. The best brands at the best prices. If you want Fred Schmid selection, you've got to go to Fred Schmid. Demi Moore is in trouble.
Excuse me, guys, looking for this?
And John Cusack needs a few good men. The brawny. The brave.
Are you ready for me, Hoops?
And the bold.
Oh, no!
For one wild.
My car.
One outrageous.
You might want to brace yourself.
One crazy summer. The broadcast television premiere.
7 p.m. on Denver's 2 Sunday.
Topping environmental news tonight, representatives from around the world are beginning to sign a controversial treaty that will preserve endangered animals and plants. That comes at the 3rd day of the Earth Summit in Brazil, where some leaders planted trees today to mark Earth Day here. Meantime, in Washington, President Bush met with the Norwegian Prime Minister, saying he will not apologize for refusing to sign the Biodiversity Treaty. Bush says the treaty would cost Americans jobs. But he's angry that top U.S. negotiators' memos were leaked to the media, revealing treaty discussions.
Bill Riley is one of the top environmentalists in the world. He had some suggestions to make. He did it in a proper way, and that he was put in an embarrassing position by the leaking of a document and the printing of a confidential document, I find very offensive. I don't like it, and he has my full support. And as soon as I get him, I'll tell him.
Meantime, at the conference in Brazil today, activists from Greenpeace protested pollution coming from a Brazilian chemical company. They've been living underwater for the past 30 days, and tonight they are back on solid ground, thankful to see the sunshine again. 2 of the 4 original NASA aquanauts who were sent down to an underwater hotel here off the coast of Key Largo surfaced today after a month. Their mission was part of a NASA experiment on the isolated living conditions astronauts might experience on an extended space mission, such as a trip to Mars. The men say the severe isolation did get to them at times.
There was a lot of comical relief down there when the tensions got too high. We had a few sayings and stuff that we wouldn't really want to repeat on the air, actually, but they would really break the tension. And I think that really saw us through some of the rough parts, being able to laugh, and especially at yourself.
One of the aquanauts is staying down there for another 30 days. The fourth one had to come up early after he was struck with a bout of the flu. Seems a lot of Coloradans are agreeing on one thing: recycling is the right thing to do. A statewide recycling survey shows Colorado ranks way above average in recycling. The figures from Colorado Recycle shows state residents here recycle almost 17% more consumer items than the national average. In straight garbage terms, that means each of Colorado's 3.3 million people recycled an average of 93.1 pounds of material last year. Glass and plastic bottle recycling jumped almost 50% in 1991. This is the 5th consecutive year that Coloradans have set recycling records. Topping our 2-year health report tonight, are sunscreens as helpful as they claim? Health experts have been urging us to use sunblock for years, but now the government wants to know if these products adequately block harmful sun rays. A Senate panel is holding hearings to determine whether you're getting what you pay for.
Many sunscreens and sunglasses on the market today are failing to adequately protect American consumers from the harmful effects of the sun's rays, and are failing to give consumers enough information to make a wise purchase to protect themselves and their families.
The Food and Drug Administration currently does not regulate manufacturers' claims on high sun protection, and federal officials do not expect to pass any standards soon. So in the meantime, dermatologists recommend that you use a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Health experts tonight are also concerned with how you spend your mealtime. A recent survey shows more and more of us are eating on the run, whether it be in our cars, at work, or in front of the television. In fact, only 1/3 of American families eat together every night, and nutritionists say the effects of this can't be good. The foods most of us eat while on the run tend to be fattier and less nutritious. And what's more, doctors say constantly eating alone and eating too fast to enjoy your meal can be damaging to your mental health as well. Well, Karen will update us on any new developments in the forecast up here next, and Jim will be back with tonight's play of the day. Then it's the story of a family pet who strayed away from home, only to return some 10 years later.
Never before has Sun Valley Waterbeds offered a discount this great. Sun Valley's entire $6 million inventory is already discounted 13 to 54%. But for 4 days only, take an extra 21% off every waterbed. That's right, take an extra 21% off Sun Valley's already discounted prices. Plus, pay no interest and make no payments for 6 months. 4 days only. Offer ends Tuesday 9 p.m. at Sun Valley Waterbeds, including Lakewood on West Colfax and Carr.
Hey, money's tight. Don't spend too much on Father's Day gifts this year.
Get to Burlington Coat Factory.
Great gifts up to $20. Even under $10. Burlington Coat Factory.
I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you can save money on home repairs with the right wood preserver. Thompson's Wood Protector has more of everything wood needs to protect it. The Parkers used the wrong brand. Now look at that fading. The Furmans tried something else, and they still got water damage. They'll be calling.
Thompson's Wood Protector. Superior protection from water, sun, and mildew damage.
Thompson's Wood Protector. It's #1 for wood.
For more than 100 years, we've stuck only to the finest bananas.
Perfecto.
Chiquita bananas every day at King Soopers.
Everyone thought she was an angel of mercy.
I have to give something back to the Lord and to the community.
She devoted her life to feeding the hungry. Now it can be told.
I think that the poor don't deserve it.
She was secretly feeding herself.
It appears now that the monies, those checks, never reached the center itself.
Plus, who's watching you in the changing room? Now it can be told.
11 p.m. on Denver's 2 tonight.
If you need information on money, health and nutrition, educating your children and more, then you need the free Consumer Information Catalog. Do whatever it takes, but make sure you get this address. New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009. That address again, New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
Yes!
We still have about a 20% chance of a shower this evening and overnight, and expect those clouds to last on into the morning. Let's take a look at the forecast for tomorrow morning. If you're heading out to the People's Fair or any of the activities around town, expect to see some fog and some low clouds. But then later on in the day, we can expect to also see some sun. But we also have about a 40% chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. So if you're heading out to the activities, make sure you bring an umbrella or a poncho. Expect a high of about 74 degrees. Overnight low of 48. Here's the extended. Sunday looks wonderful. Mostly sunny skies, a high of about 77. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they look pretty nice too. Just a chance of an afternoon shower and temperatures in the low 80s. Jim.
Great game in the NBA Finals tonight. The Blazers go on a 15-5 run without Clyde Drexler, who fouled out to tie the game in regulation, and it is now 99-99 as they play in overtime. The Midas play of the day, Toronto's Joe Carter with the drive, but watch Baltimore's Mike Devereaux on his horse up over the fence and makes the grab. Yeah, we'll give you another look at it. Take a look at this play by Devereaux, who takes it out of the hat of the fan right there, trying to make the catch on that ball.
Guy looked a little worried about either the glove or the ball.
Don't put your hat up there. Come on.
He just wanted a souvenir,
That's a
Jim.
great catch.
It was a good catch. Well, so how far can one turtle walk in 10 years? About 200 miles. That's just what Bertle the turtle did here in California. Bertle, you see, decided to explore the world, so he packed up his tortoise shell home and hit the road, wandering away from his owner's house in Long Beach a decade ago. He was found recently 200 miles away in Santa Maria, California. Luckily, a tag on the bottom of Bertle's shell helped his finders find him a way back home, and tonight Bertle's basking in backyard bliss, surrounded by a lot of well-wishers and some freshly cut grass. It's just perfect for Bertle to munch on. The importance of putting tags on your pets.
Say that again, backyard, but what is that?
Backyard, basking in backyard bliss, which you do every weekend.
I just wondered.
Okay, we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Discover the all-new Thomasville store this weekend during our House Beautiful sale. Everything is on sale. Plus, take 40% off any one Thomasville item. Take 40% off any sofa, love seat, or chair. Take 40% off any dining room or bedroom item. Then buy with no down payment and with no payments or interest the next 6 months. All prices throughout the store have been reduced. Plus, take 40% off any one item. It's all here at the new Thomasville Home Furnishing Store at County Line and Colorado Boulevard.
So that you can continue to see all the beauty that surrounds you. We offer only the highest standard of professional eye care. And with quality products like Renew Solutions by Bausch & Lomb and designer frames by Sergio Chureta, we not only can help you see better, we can help you look better. 1 Hour Optical. We take your eyes seriously. Stop in for a complete eye exam, just $29.
You can experience a revolutionary way to buy a new truck. The low final sales price is clearly displayed on every truck at Suss Pontiac GMC Truck, home of bottom line pricing.
From the sewers of Gotham, a new villain emerges. From the rooftops, the perfect enemy comes to life.
I am Catwoman.
And the only one who can save this city is a creature of the night. Michael Keaton.
What do you want?
Danny DeVito.
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
Michelle Pfeiffer. Batman returns June 19th. Directed by Tim Burton. Rated PG-13.
They're here.
Who's there?
Hiding in the darkness.
Oh, evil spirits, huh?
Waiting for their chance
He shot a harpoon into his heart.
to shock you.
It never shocked me.
Stories that will give you a fright in the night.
We can be together now.
Turn out the lights for Ghost Story. 10:30 Saturday on Denver's 2.
Through Children International, you can sponsor a needy child and change her world with your love. Through photos and personal letters, you will see for yourself the difference you make as a sponsor, providing your child with food and clothing, medicine, and education. Call now for your free information kit.
These men are marching to their death.
The desert doesn't get you, the Arabs will.
That's why they joined the Legion, not to live, but to die.
The Arabs don't get you, the Legion will.
And here, they will make their final stand.
The Legion doesn't get you, then I will.
Gene Hackman, Catherine Deneuve, Max von Sydow, and Terrence Hill will march or die.
7 p.m. on Denver's 2 Saturday.
Coming up tomorrow night here on Channel 2 News, we'll take you to Lyman, where residents are marking the 2nd anniversary of a devastating tornado, but not with a look back, with a look ahead. And we begin a 2-part cover story report on babies born with a chemical dependency. Join us for that sobering look at that issue, plus your latest weekend weather outlook and all the day's sports. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night. Have a good weekend.